Hello, with an injury report from Manchester. I'm Tim.
I'm Dom.
I'm Calvin.
And Max isn't here because it's his birthday, so he's off not being here, which is fair. But he's the drummer, so, you know, send Max some love if you're watching this.
Yeah, it's 11 o'clock, so he's probably already at the pub.
Or the climbing
Right.
wall.
So, we're answering some questions. Let's do this.
How did the band get started and where are you from?
Alright, you do that one.
We were all studying at Salford University together. All of us on the music course. Calvin had graduated
Oh yeah.
the year before,
Yeah.
and we literally just needed a band to perform with for the course. Me and Max decided to start one that we could get assessed on, roped these two guys in, and it was never meant to be anything more than that. Got offered a show at the local pub through a friend and just thought, oh, we might as well. I think the rest kind of took off from there. Where are we from? Well, we're based in Manchester, but we're kind of from all over. Max is from the Lakes, Tim's from down south, Calvin's from Ambiguous.
Claims to be Manchester, isn't. But yeah, so, based here, gig around here, slowly spreading further afield. Suriname, you're next.
How is the rock metal scene in your city? So,
I'm doing this one. Right, this week, so I've done another band before this one that's kind of fizzled out around Manchester as well. It was a bit more metally. And it is an interesting scene. It's very active and very lively, but that means it's very, not even competitive, because competitive implies like that you've got kind of some kind of friendly competition, you know who people are. It's just ever changing. There's new bands every 5 minutes, because you know you've got a music college in town, you've got our course which chucks out, you know, 80 odd guitarists a year and whatnot. So you get new bands all the time. Like I haven't done any gigs with the Ninja Report with any bands that I recognise from when I was gigging with my old band. Yeah, and that was only 2 years ago.
yeah, in 2 or 3 years it
Completely
flipped.
changes. But it's great. I mean, if you want to go out and see a live band any night of the week, you can do it. You just walk into Manchester and do it. But there's also kind of saturation. You just kind of get, oh, I could watch another crap band. So it's kind of, it's hard to weed out the great stuff and the good stuff from something you saw last week or something you saw last year under a different name. Which makes it quite difficult for us as well, I think, because we're trying to strike out and make our own identity, and I'm sure our dads would say that we're quite derivative or not doing anything particularly new, but we're doing it our way and with an energy that this is going to sound cocky, but I don't see a lot of local bands doing. Like, a lot of gigs will get people coming up to us going, yeah, you put on a show or something, and we didn't, we just played. So hopefully we've got enough to break out.
It's kind of true, actually.
We've got enough to kind of make ourselves stand out in a very, very, very crowded scene, and then break into other cities. But
Because
it's early days.
being a big city as well, we get a lot of bands touring through here as well.
Mm.
We've always got a lot of good feedback most of the time when we supported bigger acts.
Yeah.
Come here.
So fingers crossed, we'll keep plugging away and we'll keep improving.
I think there's a handful as well, a handful of venues such as Grand Central
Yeah.
that are somehow in this world where everything's digital. You know, you can make an album in your bedroom. They're keeping live rock music alive, and we're quite lucky in Manchester. I think
We've got
that
quite a few like
there's
that.
a few of these, so you can
Blossoms.
actually go see a metal band or a rock band at least every single night of the week. All you have to do is go to these maybe 4 or 5 venues,
Yeah, well,
and there's always something on.
yeah, because you've got Stargate, you've got Rebellion, you've got
Blossoms.
Blossoms, Stockport, where Blossoms, the band, started. We played there 3 times.
yeah, something like that.
I think we're there in the new year.
So that's quite good. But yeah, so it's a good scene, and we're glad to be a part of it. And you know, I think we owe a lot to coming from a music course as well. You kind of learn to be a lot more critical of your material and your stagecraft, and go, you know, we've all been in bands before and you've all done the thing where you're writing a song, you go, right, it's done, and then you just never revisit it, whereas we're constantly revisiting material and reworking it, and
and dropping songs. We'll play a song for a month live, or maybe 2, and then we kind of look at it and go,
Not working.
it's not happening that.
But then that means the stuff that stays is the stuff that sticks, and hopefully it's that kind of stuff that makes us stand out in, as I said, a very crowded scene.
It's a good scene though. I think that's something.
Oh yeah.
We're very lucky. If we lived somewhere,
Come visit, you'd love it.
yeah,
It's great. What's the scene like in Suriname? Don't know.
it's the biggest show you've ever played.
As a band,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's got to be
Hard Rock Cafe.
Hard Rock Cafe, yeah. Yeah. That was
Hands down.
awesome.
Yeah.
Because we had the people next to the stage. They were eating. We're
Yeah.
like, no, you're not going to be eating anymore. You're going to be getting up.
so the Hard Rock Cafe, it's set up as a bar and a restaurant most of the time, and then sort of, what was it, Friday night or Saturday night, they've got live music on, but that doesn't mean they stop serving food, or they stop, so you've got people having a drink and watching as normal, but to the left of the stage is people who've booked a table and were expecting a nice dinner out as a family or as a romantic couple, and
And they got
We
to leave me
rock up.
behind instead.
you got us.
It was such a good show though. They put us on with a really good headline band. We were the one support band that night. And normally as a support band, you get a good reaction, but that night we got a fantastic reaction. We're going back 18 months, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, so for us at that time when we were definitely not established in any way, to get given an opportunity like that through one of the local radio stations was quite a big thing.
Yeah, that was good. What about personal? What's the biggest gig you guys played?
Calvin, what's the biggest gig
Wow.
you've ever played?
Oh, wow. It's one time in Slovenia,
Calvin plays in a Tina Turner tribute act.
but I'm not the Tina.
He could be the Tina.
The amount of times people say that, it's like, oh, so you're the Tina.
But it was a stadium tour in Slovenia, wasn't it?
Yes, it was a very nice venue. We got flown over, and it was about
Hint.
1,500 people. And it was like a proper gig, except they paid to come see us. Don't know if they'll pay again, but...
Don't think I've ever played to more than about... Anyway.
What bands influenced your style?
Well,
Personally,
or as a band or personally?
Let's do band first.
Let's do band first.
I think when we started out, it was more modern bands. Alter Bridge being a key one, I think, in the way. At first, I was writing the songs because it was my performance degree. So I drew a lot from kind of Alter Bridge, that kind of modern, heavy, anthemic, chorusy stuff. But then I think as we swapped around the writing and writing techniques, and as your influence came more into it, Tim,
Yeah. I think it's...
we then looked at more of a, I want to say old school without sounding pretentious. We then started using Guns N' Roses, Thin Lizzy.
There was a bit of a conscious shift, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah, I think once we'd written a couple of songs that were like,
For me, I don't know how conscious it was. Like, for my part, it was very conscious, because when this band started, I was still nominally playing with the other metal band, and there was quite a bit of crossover, so I was trying to not even save my metal riffs for that band, but just kind of pull myself away from that. Like, if I'm doing more of a rock thing, I'm going to change how I'm writing and how I'm playing.
and that's when songs like Temptation, which will be on the second record we're about to start recording, that's where that kind of
Yeah.
happier, it's the best way to put it,
Yeah.
it's happier,
It's more fun.
energetic.
It's
rock
that
music.
you're not worried about being angry or heavy all the time. You're just going what feels good and what gets you going. I suppose it's like Who Needs to Be with Slash the other day. We were talking about if a song doesn't make you want to fight or fuck, then it's not right. Which maybe a bit extreme. I refer more to the kind of the James May tingle in your prostate. But it's a song that you know when you've written something that everyone's enjoying. And there's still, now we've got a blend, we've got that kind of, we've all come from, or I've come from a heavier background, the Alter Bridge thing, and having more riff oriented, but at the same time having that sensibility and that awareness of classic stuff, I guess.
Did you guys ever hear of our country, Suriname?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can't tell you much more about it.
No, I think
We had a bit of a. Gonna be honest, we had a bit of a Wikipedia Google session. Like, let's learn a bit more about Suriname, and it's interesting.
we'd all heard of it, but I think this placement as well, like just north of Brazil. I didn't know. I knew it was in South America, but I had no idea that it was so close to Brazil or Guyana or any of kind of the ones around it. But yeah.
So we had a listen to some Cascos? Cacos?
Casco.
Casco, that's the one. Casco comes with broken bones, I remember that. And that was just, it just made you think of the Caribbean, really.
Yeah, you can kind of hear in the traditional music of Suriname these influences. So you've got the Caribbean influence, but then also the vocals are quite kind of like, they reminded me of North African music, and then you've got these modern brass sections that were very, you called it European, didn't you? And it was. And
well, I was surprised by, because I was looking at kind of, demographics and stuff. It was the large Indian population, but there's not much of that coming through in the music apart from maybe some of the drumming, but there's not much for Hindustani influence there, I would say. But hey ho. So yeah, tell you what, we'll learn more about it if you invite us over.
Yeah,
we'll come visit.
Invite us over.
We don't get much tropical heat here in Manchester. I'm sure we'll learn to cope.
Yeah. What would you expect of metal bands from the Caribbean?
Hate to be the cynic, but as a metalhead for many years and looking around, small bands from all over the world that pop up on your internet feed and whatnot, location doesn't seem to factor much into most metal bands. Like, if you want to play thrash metal, whether you're from Brazil or France or Brighton or Manchester or whatever, for most bands it just ends up sounding like thrash metal because they've grown up listening to Slayer and Testament and early Metallica and Creator and Destruction, and they just come out sounding like that. A few I think made a difference. You had Sepultura from Brazil who just went, fuck it, let's go put out roots and let's have a load of indigenous tribes drumming and singing on it, which was fucking inspired. Like, that was an incredible bold move for the metals, well, for a metal band in that scene. And I'm trying to think of other metal bands that actually managed to get their local, or their cultural influences in on the music. I can think of what are they called? There's a band from Taiwan who have lots of traditional Chinese instruments in there, but it's kind of symphonic black metal the rest of the time. That's quite fun. But brass and metal, I tend to struggle to get to work. I can't imagine how you get sort of Suriname metal in. Well, you need to send us some. You need to show us what your local scene's like. Send us some tunes so we can listen. Let's have a dialogue going. But you've got the drummers. You can hear that in the Casco. Be interested to see what else you can get in there.
I think you got metal around the world. Like you were saying, it depends completely on what metal you've been listening to. And yeah, you might draw some influence from what's around you, but then you kind of pigeonhole yourself. So for example, if we were writing lyrics about being from Manchester, then you'd immediately think of kind of Oasis and things like you'd immediately
sorry, I'm ill. Yes.
You'd pigeonhole yourself by making your band about where it's from. You are then Oasis or the Happy Mondays, something like that. And there's nothing wrong with those bands, obviously, but if that's not what you're going for, then you don't sing about being from Manchester. And I'm sure it's the same.
Yeah, I'm not sure you can write an angry... Well, I'm going to stop my own point there. I was about to say, I'm not sure if you're from a tropical country that you could write an angry song when you've got beaches and music, but then of course you've got political situations and whatever, some countries have various poverty situations and you don't know what the landscape's like, and to be honest, a lot of metal comes from, particularly the pissed off stuff, comes from anger at inequality and anger at not fitting in, which I guess is going to speak to anyone, whichever culture they're from. So I'm sure you've got that in Suriname as well.
Yeah.
See, the thing for me though is I think it'd be a bit laid back.
So you'd think that, but then if someone's pissed off enough about something to be writing that kind of...
I know,
heavy
but
music.
in terms of, I imagine the energy is probably still there, but it's still just going off, because my family are grandparents from the Caribbean, and the couple of times I've been over there, it's always, everything's at half speed, and then half speed again. Like, literally.
Yeah.
Because it's too hot. It's too hot to, and that's the other thing I'm thinking, when you're on stage, like, you must get knackered after 5 minutes, you must be sweating buckets.
That's the thing, I've never been...
doing 40 degrees and trying to... So visually as well, I'd imagine, like, what do you guys do?
Yeah, it's like places I've done Caribbean, obviously the other end of Caribbean, I've been in Cuba for a week, and again, it's just that level of heat, everything was, like, the streets were busy, but they weren't bustling, they weren't rushy,
yeah,
like, everyone
you can't rush.
you stroll,
Yeah.
at the same time, saying that, going back to the political atmosphere and not having anything to be pissed off about, I think if you're a Cuban metal band, you've probably got a ton to write about,
Yeah.
or have had. Anyway.
But that's what I imagine. I imagine it's got the sound of metal, but there's still like that cultural relaxation vibe about it as well. Almost.
So what you're saying is there's going to be a ton of doom metal bands.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Tim said, send us some stuff like that.
Show us what SrananMetal's
And if you got any videos
we'll share
as
it.
well.
Like,
Yeah, if there's any Suriname bands kind of who are watching this going,
I'll let you.
okay. So the camera broke just at the end of the interview, so we've had to come back another day, and Calvin isn't here this time.
Yeah, we did record everything before, but when we were taking it off the camera, the last third or so was missing, so we're just going to do it again. Right, where were we?
So we were up to the can you try to say this?
Right, so Fawaka Alisanibun. Yes? No?
Fawaka alasani bun. It means, hey man, how are you doing?
Alright, we've tried.
We
Hope that
tried.
worked.
Yeah. Authentic accents.
Yeah, mank.
Oh, this is a good one. Worst things that happen on stage.
Oh, cool. Well, your wireless pack regularly dies. Dom's the only one in the band with a wireless thing. The rest of us plug into our amps with cables like humans. Then that's let you down a few times.
It's the second you start getting more technology, there's more things to go wrong, which
You
is
need to have more of a backup.
yeah. Alma in.
Yes.
We were playing a show, and there's this little step up at the front of the stage, and you step over it when you're loading on, but it's nothing. Anyway, Tim takes his big solo towards the end of the set, and he stands up on this step and smacks his head off the top. So we're just laughing. We're still playing, but we are laughing our heads off.
Point out, as well as the raised bit, the ceiling's lower as well,
Yeah.
so it's like a letterbox between the audience and the stage kind of thing, but about 5 foot high.
So Tim whacks his head, and in the laughter, I'm like, oh, it's my solo now. So I go to step up and crack my head as well. So then we're both stood on this step, holding our heads, trying to play, and I think pretty much everyone was laughing at us.
Well, I think you're playing guitar but mouthing ow, and some people will see it as a Gary Moore guitar face, and some people will be laughing, but that was fun.
Yeah, we had a speaker blow up at a venue. But
It always happens to you, really, doesn't it?
It's always me. There was a monitor on the side there, and we were literally halfway through the first song. Everything was sounding good, and then the speaker just blew, and I went deaf for 10 days in my left ear. We had to leave and go and sit somewhere quiet.
Yeah, like a pub.
Yeah.
That pretty much sums it up. But most of the time, things don't go too badly. I think I'm a bugger for stepping on my wah pedal and not turning it off again, or not sort of clicking it all the way down, so you end up with a super tinny guitar sound for about 10 seconds until I realise. But
Or our first show where Tim had got a new guitar strap,
yes!
and it just kept falling
It
off.
wasn't a new guitar strap, I was borrowing my friend's guitar because he just bought a brand new Gibson Les Paul. And, hang on, like, on mine, this is my regular gigging guitar, and the strap button's there, so when you're holding it up, it's got a bit of resistance. But on a Gibson, on a real one, this is an Epiphone that I've done up. But on a Gibson, the strap button's about there, so it's a much softer angle, which means the strap just kept falling off. So I've been really excited about, in a way, christening my mate's guitar. He's super chuffed with his new Gibson. He really wanted me to play it. And I'm spending the entire set going, oh shit, and dropping it. Luckily it never hit the floor, but that's actually probably the biggest thing that's gone wrong on stage in terms of most disruptive.
That was our first show as well.
Yeah, so
We started bad and we've improved.
Well, anyway.
Marginally. Would we ever see the Ninja Report live in Suriname? If you invite us over, of course we'll come over.
Yeah. I'm not sure how big the audience is in Suriname, but that's, hopefully this will help. So check out the Ninja Report and we'll come over.
Yeah. I think at this stage as well, it's always a view of ours to branch out. Right now we're tackling we play Manchester quite a bit, we've got a nice following here, so we've done...
So thinking Manchester, next step, do the logical cities around that, fuck it, South America, let's go.
Yeah. So we're kind of travelling around. We started it this year and we've done a show in Leeds, and we did Nottingham the other day. So we're going to try and kind of branch out more into the UK and then see where that takes us. I imagine the next step then is going across the channel that way.
But you are on the to-do list.
Yeah, if we ever get to South America, we will definitely make a stop.
We'll get Maiden to take us out, that'll be fine.
Yeah. What does future hold for the Ninja Report?
I think you just started that, didn't you? So branching out, we're kind of building up a fan base around Manchester and Greater Manchester. And just, it's the gradual expansion thing. It's slow going. Real life gets in the way a lot of the time. But we've got studio booked next weekend, so we're recording a second EP.
This weekend.
Oh yeah, it's not Sunday anymore. Sorry, I don't know what day it is. I work with days to earn rent.
This Sunday we'll go and start in our second record, because we know it's a slow process. It's not just kind of get in the studio on a Sunday and then in a month's time you got the CD. There's so much to think about. So we're starting pre-production and a live track.
Yeah, well, all being well.
On Sunday, and then from that, just get a second EP out, and I think we're looking forward to this one much more now. We've had the experience of being in the studio together and learning quite quickly what works, what doesn't. So it's the same with anything. The second time you have a go at something, hopefully you improve.
Yeah, we've got just force of circumstance and drummer having another gig that paying him better. We've got a few weeks, months basically to work on new material as well, so we can get gigging in the new year with a new set list and new songs and try them out, see which ones will stick, which ones don't, and keep going. So it's more of the same really. You can keep tabs on us on the internet with all the usual avenues of interest, so keep following us and we'll keep you guys updated as to what we're doing. What else we got?
That's it.
Is that all the questions?
That is all the questions.
Alright, so we didn't miss too much.
No. Well, thank you. Thank you very much for having us. You know where to find us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and then head over to Bandcamp, theninjareport.bandcamp.com, and you can stream the album or the first EP even for free there. Have a listen. If you like it, you can buy it on there. You can buy it on Spotify, Google Play, wherever you want to buy it.
Other places. So look for us on the internet. We're starting to come up near the top of Google, or maybe that's just because I'm still logged in. I don't know.
No, we are at the top of Google now.
Cool. So yeah, look for us. Check us out. Thank you very much for having us, and maybe one day we'll make it to Suriname. Take care.